Do you offer mates rates? Or have you tried it in the past and been bitten on the arse by it? I can honestly say I think this is one of the trickiest areas of business, and almost all of us have been bitten by it at some point. Because it's very tempting to agree to mates rates. It feels like a really nice thing and a supportive thing to do. But the problem with it is that whenever you do something at mates rates, you're almost guaranteed that somebody is going to lose. Very often it's you, because you end up delivering your usual brilliant service and taking the usual amount of time over it and earning less money. So you have lost out there. Alternatively, it could be that the customer slash mate is the person who feels they've lost out, because the problem is if they pay you less than you normally earn, they lose the right to complain if they're not happy with the service. Think of yourself in that position. If you accept something done on the cheap by somebody else, if you're not that happy with it, it's really difficult to complain. It's really difficult to ask somebody to do it better if you know you haven't paid the right price for it. So there's a strong possibility that one or both of you will actually end up feeling like you've lost out by going down the road of mates rates. However, I wanted to share with you some tips today because I know this is an area that ties a lot of people in knots. So here are some of the things that you should think about. First and foremost is have a policy for mates rates. Is it something that you are willing to do? Is it something that fits comfortably with you? Or actually, is it something that really drives you nuts when people have the nerve to ask for it? So just have a very clear policy. Yes, it's something I'm happy to agree with. No, I never ever do this. And if you are a person that leans on the side of no, which is perfectly reasonable, the other thing I would advise you to do is have a standard response. Have an already prepared way of explaining to somebody why you don't offer mates rates. So you might say something along the lines of, I'm not prepared to offer you a worse service than I offer to all of my clients, so it's only right that I charge you my full price because I want to make sure you get my full service. So you can position it in such a way that you're still being friendly, supportive, helpful, understanding. You're just not being cheap with it. So have a really clear policy about whether it's something you do or something you don't, and have a prepared response so that you're not caught off guard or on the hoof or stumbling around as to how to deal with it and worrying about sounding like a tightwad if you say no, when actually you know you really want to say no. The other thing you might want to think about, and this does work for a lot of people, is to consider that what you might be is somebody that does offer mates rates, but at your choice. So if somebody comes to you and asks for it, then you're going to say no, because really what they're already saying is they don't think you're worth your full price. Whereas there may be occasions where there is somebody that you know you could massively help and you really love this person and you really want them to progress, but they're stuck. So you might make the decision to offer them mates rates, even though they haven't asked for it. You might just keep that up your sleeve as something that is a possibility in your business. It's really different when you voluntarily offer mates rates rather than when somebody else asks for it. So you might consider that that is something that is part of your policy essentially in your business. And the last thing is, don't feel guilty about it. If you don't want to offer mates rates, and my advice always is not to offer them, don't feel guilty about it. This is a simple business transaction. It's not about friendships. It's not about emotion. This is about business, delivering the right service at the right price. And also bear this in mind, if you are somebody that's likely to feel guilty, all you do by sticking to your price is you are being fair to every single one of your clients. So those clients that have been paying you for the last few months, if not years, at your full price, you're actually doing them a disservice if somebody new comes along and they get it at mates rates. So you don't have to feel guilty about saying no. You can actually feel principled and retaining the higher moral ground. So if pricing in general is something that ties you in knots and you know you could do with a little bit of a sounding board in this, head over to my website, tailory.co.uk, and see the different ways that I can help you with your pricing dilemmas and your business growth plans.